Oh, Neil.
Ryan.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to hang out with you and some guests. What are you up to?
The exact same, but on a Monday.
Wild.
I know, right?
Yeah, this new world is throwing a lot of curveballs our way, and one of them that many of us have to deal with is the show is on a Monday this time.
Yeah, you know, and I think a lot of people have been asking about it, and we don't know. We're just doing it. That's
right. That's right. We haven't consulted with any public health professionals.
No, and we knew some.
We do.
We on the show.
We should, honestly. Yeah. Either very late to have them on or perfect timing.
Right.
Yeah.
They're taking a victory lap. Everything's fine.
Yeah, that's one way to look at that.
Yeah.
If you are tuning in, and perhaps you are watching My Dinner with Ryaneil, etc. And thanks to Frigid New York for hosting us every month for the past. We do not know how long. I don't know how many shows we've done.
I think it's been a year.
Maybe. A year or so.
Maybe this is the anniversary show.
If this is our 1 year anniversary and you've forgotten, Ryan, I'm going to be pretty upset with you.
And I'm going to be equally upset with you.
Fair, totally fair. So the way this works is we're going to have some friends over for dinner, and you can comment to them in the comments box of wherever you're watching this. Thank you, Noah. Oh, it's nice to see Noah in the crowd.
Someone remembered.
And Amanda, thanks to Amanda Nicastro, our lovely tech from Frigid, who helps us way more with this show.
I know
than we ever expected her to. She is a champ. I would endorse her on LinkedIn for shows.
They probably have that. We'll investigate after this show.
Yeah. Now is not the time to edit our LinkedIn profiles.
No. And you got to do it. You got to make sure you hit the settings so that your coworkers don't see that you're updating it.
That's right. Ryan.
Anyway,
dropping secrets about what Ryan does.
So Neil, thanks. Right. Oh,
that's good. That's
Amanda,
a good
You gem. Chat it up just like Noah did. If you have a great comment, we'll flash it up right here. So it's like you're having dinner with us, which is kind of the premise of the show to begin with. But more specifically, we're having dinner with our next guest.
That's right.
Neil, would you mind?
I would not mind. We have two guests with us this evening, a nice double treat. We have Ralph Andracchio of True Engine Coaching and Kristen Wood, LCSW, and together they co-host the Hey, Let Me Ask You Something podcast, which we're going to hear all about tonight, I hope. Ralph and Kristen, welcome.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, America.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Oh, Ralph, we might be international, my friend.
Hi, world.
Yeah. You could say that in all the languages.
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know.
Major ones. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, both of you.
Thank you
for having us. This is great.
Yeah. What do you got? What are you eating tonight?
What are you eating?
We ordered Chinese food. We're both having chicken and broccoli, actually. Mine is on a bed of pork fried rice.
And mine is on a bed of chicken fried rice.
Oh. So there's just those little differences. That's what kind of keeps it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
That's what keeps our co-hosting relationship going strong. It's a little
subtlety.
I've been struggling with my broccoli because it's giant gigantic stalks, and I was like, I don't think this is conducive to a show here to shove a giant stalk of broccoli in your mouth while you're talking. So I'm trying to work that out.
Just you know what, you just got to go for it. I think if we have one piece of advice. Yeah, the very first show we had, I made myself an Italian hoagie, and I was very proud of myself. And then it was just everywhere. It went everywhere.
Man, did you make it during the show, or was it ready?
It was made prior to the show, and then it was sitting there, and then it was eating it. Because if you make it yourself, you can't. The structural integrity.
Right. Yeah, that's the problem with hoagies. You got to think about the structural integrity. You got to be more of an architect than anything.
Yes,
that's right. That's
true.
And that is also, if I can reveal a little behind the curtain, one of the challenges that we've had in figuring out how to make this show work is, are we just going to eat real food on camera? Does anybody want to watch that?
Yes.
How do I not make a mess? We have learned a lot in the same year, in 1 year.
Yeah.
Have we learned everything? No, and that's why we're going to keep doing the show.
Yeah. If we learned everything, what's the point?
we wouldn't be here. Yeah,
right?
Right.
You've reached enlightenment.
Yeah. Neil, what are you eating today?
I have. Let's see if I can make this camera work. This is a little tofu, rice, and kale, and then some cabbage with peanut sauce.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
How about you, Ryan?
Have a chicken quesadilla.
Yeah.
Hey.
Made it, you grill up the chicken and then you put it in the Foreman grill. Still using the Foreman grill I've had since college.
We use a Foreman grill for a lot of stuff too.
But it's like, who's purchased a Foreman grill in the last 10 years?
No.
They're all
in use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just still going. I think I stole it from a roommate who stole it from his aunt. So
I wonder if 20-year-olds now are buying them though.
oh, because there's none available. There's like a scarcity kind of a thing.
No, if that's the sort of thing you pick up in that phase of life, as we did some years ago, because you're like, I have to learn how to cook. Oh gosh, how do I cook? There's this thing. That's my guess.
Then what is the new George Foreman grill? If people aren't using George Foreman grills,
Instant pots are the new Foreman grills.
Oh yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
Ralph has one.
I have
right
one.
at it.
It's wonderful.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
I have one that collects dust.
We just go ahead, Ralph.
Or is it an air fryer?
No, it's an Instant Pot.
I don't know. A lot of people are talking air fryers these days.
Air fryers are hot too.
We have a convection oven too. We have a little Cuisinart convection oven on our counter too. So we cook a lot.
Is it the new wave oven?
No, it just cooks how the Ron Popeil.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. We dehydrate a lot of banana chips. That's all I remember from that infomercial.
Yes.
And set it and forget it. I remember that part.
Mm-hmm. No, Noah loves an air fryer. Well, Kristen and Ralph, let's get into it.
Yeah.
What makes a dinner party a good dinner party for each of you?
Oh, that's a good question.
You don't have to have the same answer.
That's right. Part of the joy of the show is you both can be wrong. I'm kidding. There's no wrong answers.
Constantly. I don't know. What makes a good dinner party for you?
I think good stories.
I love that answer.
I think my answer is going to sound super generic, but
It's actually never come up before.
Nobody said stories before. That's true.
I think people that are funny. I love a funny person. Bring a funny person in anytime. So that could be stories funny, just funny and funny banter or interjections in general. And good wine and food is kind of a given, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's not a given, actually. And we've heard from guests before. We've been meaning to compile our advice from guests, by the way. Yeah. That a great food isn't necessary. Like food is necessary.
Right.
But it could be mediocre as long as the company's good. Something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Some people say that. So if you're a good food, and did you say wine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, wine seems like kind of a gimme, though.
Right. I always have this idea in my head of the perfect dinner party. It's I think that's the one we've all seen on TV and movies where it's all sepia tone and there's candles and a fireplace somewhere and everybody's sitting around a cozy table and chatting. It's the atmosphere, I think, to go along with yours.
Yes.
The storytelling is really important, but the atmosphere too.
Yes.
If it's nice and cozy and everybody's sitting around in a small, intimate space and there's candles and a fireplace and it helps people talk more and be more open with each other than if it was this big, huge, fancy dining space.
The ambiance.
Ambiance
is the word.
That's why we work so well together.
So
right there.
In terms of coziness, do you have a max number of guests that you have at a dinner party?
7. So if everybody's a couple, somebody has to go home.
They're a switching. Is it a musical
they
chair
can
situation?
switch out if they want. Somebody can wait in the car for half an hour, but it's got to be 7.
I don't feel like I've been to many dinner parties. Maybe I missed that. Yeah. No one's ever said, do you want to come to a dinner party?
I mean, that's a good point. Is that often I think people just say, do you want to come over for dinner? And whether or not it's a party is either implied or kind of emerges, because there's dinners that aren't dinner parties.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
This is a dinner party, though.
But then what are you doing if
100%.
it's not a party? You're just like quietly
having dinner.
in front of each
You
other?
can just have dinner.
It's like if you have like your parents over for dinner. That's not a dinner party.
That's never happened. No.
Right.
100% not a dinner
No.
party. Yeah, so what makes it a party? That's a good question.
Now we're getting into it.
Is it a party if it's just like people swapping stories and you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Music is, what's the music doing? That's something to think about.
More ambiance questions.
Like jazz or trip hop or like something really like.
Well, Pitbull?
No.
I'm kidding.
Well, I shouldn't say no. It depends on what kind of party you're having. It could be Pitbull.
It could be Pitbull
Maybe
dinner
Pitbull's
party.
the after dinner party.
What if Pitbull's actually there?
That's a whole other level.
But can you play Pitbull when Pitbull's at your dinner party? Like, would that be?
Yes, I think you can.
I'd be like, I'm sorry, this is so awkward. I can't shut it off.
Yeah.
This is just my dinner party playlist. I play this every time people are over.
I would be like, I don't know what artist this is.
It's just some Spotify.
Who the hell played Pitbull? Oh, you're here. Oh God.
Okay. So you let the dogs out, I guess.
Is that Pitbull?
No, that's the Baja Man.
That's Baja Man.
Baja
Yeah,
Man.
clearly, as we all know, the Baja Men, their
Yeah.
illustrious career.
Yeah.
So have you, so we've laid out what you're sort of looking for in a dinner party. Do you have sort of your favorite all-time dinner party that you've attended that you could remember, or
God. My memory.
maybe not the best, but like the most like dinner party you've ever been to?
I've got nothing. Again, I don't think I've been invited to. I think I've been
This is so sad. I'm
blacklisted from
sorry.
the dinner party.
No, we got to bring you around more.
Yeah.
This is literally the best dinner party you've ever been to.
This is definitely 150%. This is the best.
I love that for all of us.
Yes.
I am at a dinner party now, and I can now check it off my bucket list.
Oh
I know it's dinner.
man.
Wow.
I mean, maybe I have, but I'm not able to put it in the context because they didn't call it that. So I'm just trying to go through my memory box here. I'm not sure.
Sure.
Times that you ate dinner with your
At somebody else's house.
Yes, I have eaten dinner at other people's houses with more than one other person. Yes, that has happened.
Have you had people over for dinner that was like of about 6 to
Did
7?
you host?
Not lately, but I
Well.
have. Yes.
And how'd that go?
Actually, I'm thinking back right now. Yes, that went well. Like I used to barbecue
All right.
when I lived at a place where I could have a grill, and I would make kebabs, and we would listen to music, and there'd be like maybe another couple, possibly 2 other couples or a couple people. And I guess that's a dinner party. And
That is a dinner party.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a dinner
That's what I'm
party.
saying. I just it's the term. I'm not.
Yeah.
I guess I just never
And
called
also,
it that.
is grilling still a dinner party, or are you
Was
just
that a barbecue?
Ooh, or is that a
Mostly
barbecue?
the barbecue. I said barbecue, but I meant I would make kebabs on the grill.
Right, but then are you in a barbecue?
Where do you eat the kebabs? Yeah.
Well, the kebabs would have been eaten either in the backyard or inside, depending on the weather.
Mhm.
If it was too hot,
Well,
I might
see,
go inside.
if you eat them in the backyard, it's a barbecue. But if you eat them inside, it's a dinner party. Maybe that's a thing. Dinner
I
parties
don't
are
think so.
inside.
That is something you look for in a dinner party is
Yeah.
a roof.
But if it's outside, like under a tree, as long as there's like a structure or something over you, it's a dinner party. Because if
What
you're
if,
out in
like,
the open,
What is like a garden party?
Hang on here.
Oh,
Kind of
a
holiday
holiday
things.
dinner be a dinner party?
no,
Yeah, like you wouldn't say Thanksgiving's a dinner party.
no,
I
a
don't.
dinner
I don't.
party-
I don't think so. I think because
Yeah.
there are rituals involved with the other things, with the holidays.
Right.
I think Noah might have been fishing for what happens at Easter, and the
Oh.
answer is you awkwardly eat ham with one of your parents.
And sometimes there's a butter lamb.
A what
Oh,
now?
sorry, that didn't sit well for me.
A lamb,
The lamb made of butter.
or
Yeah,
just eating an entire piece of broccoli.
no, like I don't eat a lamb at all, and then you put butter lamb, and it just
No,
Sounds terrible.
it was hard to digest.
it's butter shaped like a lamb.
That's it. Still bad for you, Kristen?
Yeah, it's like
that's fair.
No, I'm okay with butter shaped like a lamb. I'm not okay with a lamb that's been cooked and buttered.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
What if you have to be the first
I feel
one?
more comfortable at the dinner party now. Thank you.
Great. All right. Noah asked, is Friendsgiving a dinner party?
I think Friendsgiving is still under the Thanksgiving umbrella.
Yeah, because you're still celebrating a holiday. It's just with
holiday.
friends.
Yeah.
If anything, people should just start having things, like dinner parties for their friends and not having to gussy it up with Friendsgiving.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you tell us about your cool gig and or project that you have?
Ryan, you just read that very. Can we try that again, buddy?
We have a list of questions, and then I started to go off book, and then I was not looking at it, and then I just recited it exactly, which is even worse. So why don't you tell it? So normally we have, just one guest here, although we have had two guests before, and so we're wondering why you two happen to be together this evening.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story of how we met?
We already did.
Did we do that before the show, though? Right?
That was in the green room.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I've heard it. Noah and the audience have not.
Nobody else has heard it yet.
We met at a networking event. I think I had recently just moved into this office space, and we just honestly had an instant connection. We just got along like right away. I kind of knew like Ralph's a good dude, like Ralph, and I want to like connect with Ralph some more. So we did, and we stayed in touch over the two years or so. Mm-hmm. We used to have lunch together and things of that nature. We've looked at some other types of things that we've tried to do or done together. And then the podcast thing we just started. We've just finished our 7th episode of Hey, Let Me Ask You Something. And we're having a blast.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's like this. It's just two people sitting around like talking about interesting questions that we've been asked or that people send us.
Yeah.
And we get to answer them as LCSW, licensed
aka
therapist and a life coach / improv comedian. So it's fun.
Yeah, we're having a good time. People are sending us really awesome questions, and we've just been able to get into some really great conversations. So it's been a good time. And we've also taken like Ralph even said to me earlier about doing it virtually. It's like, no, because when we agreed to start the podcast, we're both fully vaccinated. We agreed to do it in person. And I'm very much a people person, very, very much extrovert. Yeah. And I was like, no, let's do it together. So we alternate where we do it in each other's homes each week.
Nice.
Yep.
Which I think adds something.
It does. It adds something interesting when you're both in the same room rather than speaking over Zoom. I think we're both fans of that personal contact rather than, because I think I'm zoomed out. I don't know about you, but
I've been zoomed out.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for dealing with it.
Yeah, this is painful for both of us.
Yeah, we're both dying to slow down.
Yeah.
You should have gotten a doctor's note to get out of this.
Yeah.
What has been I'm going to say the stickiest part of getting your podcast up and out there?
You go first on that one.
The stickiest part. You mean the logistics of it, or the content, or
any and all of that? What's been a thing where you're like, oh, didn't expect to see this, or like, we have a difference of opinion, we got to resolve that, and now do we call another podcast? Like, what do you do?
Well, that's why we're here. We need some mediation. This would be great.
Dinner party?
Yeah, right. No, I don't think. I think we get along great.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we have really good conversations about anything because we're not trying to be right. God, I think that's one of the fun things about our show is we don't really directly answer the question. And like, I think that engenders more of like right and wrong versus we kind of just pick apart the question and dig into, the reason behind it, why somebody would ask this, like what kind of thinking goes into the question. And I think that opens it up more for us to use both of our different expertise and our different fields to come at the question in different ways and pick it apart. And so there's a little bit in there for everybody. And so I don't think we have had, I mean, if anything, it's more logistics or like the nuts and bolts of how to edit it or how to like, you know, make it sound nice. But everything else, I think.
We haven't had our first fight yet, in other words.
Not yet. The night is young.
We haven't had any, what you call problems. I mean, we're just new. We're getting started. Right. So we're just trying to get more and more people interested because we think it's great, of course. And we've gotten lots of good feedback and we're trying to just kind of spread the word.
Yeah. Moms love it.
Well,
I'm so proud of you.
Do you have I guess maybe like a sort of a prototypical, like, that's like the kind of like, what would be like a normal question you would get?
We've been getting a lot of work/career questions right now, I think, because that's on people's minds. Going back to work, transitioning from working from home into working in an office, like the dynamic, the people dynamic, because we're all now 18 months ish into, you know, Zoom, and now we're being asked to go back to work. And so, and people are taking this opportunity to find other stuff and, you know, branch out and try other careers. So we've been fielding a lot of those kind of questions.
Yeah. And I think we've also done a little bit on just the COVID, the transitioning in life in general, and what's going on right now. We definitely have touched on that. And a little bit about balancing recently. We've talked about, we're just talking about again today, about just now that life has like started back up, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to use the N word. Normal is what
I like. I hope you won't use that word.
I'm sorry. I hate the word normal. So
I do too.
Yes, of course I mean normal, but what does that look like? And now that there's all these things to do, and you're still working, which is what, like, a lot of us were doing nothing but working in puzzles for a year plus. So now it's like wanting to do everything, and how do I create that balance? We've addressed that a lot.
Yeah, and I hate the word normal too. Because normal is very subjective. You know, my normal day is not your normal day. We all have our own road we're on. So you know, instead of normal, I like to use average, or like, you know, the what other
run of the mill. Do you want to use that old term?
That old chestnut.
Yeah, let's bring that old one back.
I think if people can get in the habit of not using the word normal, I think it opens up more possibilities for you day to day.
It's cringeworthy for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another good adjective for a synonym for normal.
Yeah, so often I say like in the before times.
Well, that's fine.
Right, and people know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
But also, that's another thing that we talk about is how people want to return to how it was before, and that's impossible.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. Yeah. We can't do it. We're not going back to 18 months before and like everything's just going to start the way it was before. That's impossible. So
right.
For us, it's talking people through that of like, how do you now adjust to what's happening now? Because we're not going back. You know, this is your time to change stuff up.
Yep. How do you feel about the new normal?
I don't even know if I know what the new normal is. I don't know what
that would be. Yeah.
The new normal is what normal it's. So
some people wear a mask and some don't. Is that the new normal? I don't know.
Yes. People are like, oh, it's the new normal. You can't go back to normal. You have to go back to the new normal.
It's like new Coke.
That was so many normals at one time. I'm like,
new Coke was terrible.
Yikes. Right. New Coke.
So you want to go back to normal.
What about New Girl? Can we bring New Girl back?
New Girl, please.
New Girl.
Love that show. First of all, watch the entire 7 million seasons. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
We digress.
Yes.
No, that's great. It's I think part of what's fun, neat, and refreshing about your podcast setup is that other advice-y columns and platforms that I know of feel either narrow or like they don't acknowledge kind of the totality of life. Like I'm thinking of like Ask a Manager, right? Lovely for what it is, but doesn't always take into account like this is a work question and you're also like somebody who goes to bed at night.
Right.
Which is something that I like to remember whenever I answer a question. Is I'm also somebody who goes to bed at night, and we all like to go to bed at night mostly.
Mostly.
Mostly. You see,
also, that's a great point because I think I can only speak from my point of view, but as a coach, we are trained not to give advice. I don't give advice. I don't answer questions. I don't try to steer you in any direction because you have the answer. I'm just here as a conduit to help you figure out your next steps. So it's natural for me to have a question and not answer it because that's not what I do. I don't give advice. I don't consult. I don't do any of that. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, for the most part, no. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, you're a little different because you're diagnosing and
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I always thought there's a little bit of a coaching element to my practice, but no. When people come out, right, especially are like, "What do you think I should do?" I'm like, "Well, come on now, you know what? I'm not going
to answer that.
Right. Let's pull back and regroup on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one though, or come in where you're just like, you need to do or just like you need to dump this person, or like you need to go, like whatever, or you're just like.
I'm breaking up with you right now. We haven't even started our relationship.
Yeah, like listen, you need to really.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk to any coaches, they're going to say absolutely not. I would never. But yes, we're human beings, and of course, my client may bring me something they're working through, and in my mind, I'm like, well, just do this. I mean, Jesus, right? What's wrong with you? Yeah, but I would never say that. But. And also that's kind of what's hard about coaching too, is that you can't lead them either. And I may have an idea in my head of like, oh, you got to do this, but that's what I think you're supposed to do. And that's my solution. It's not your solution. So it's hard. It's learning that, just having them talk through it and talk through it more. And anytime one of my clients says, well, what should I do? Just tell me. I'm like, I throw it right. I hand the ball right back to him. Well, what do you think you should do? Talk me through it, And it gets annoying, and I get some pushback sometimes. But I think in the end, they come around and they're like, you know what? Thank you for doing that because it's more. Yeah.
But it does really feel like you're just throwing your drink in their face. Like, what should I do?
J'accuse.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's different for you because you have to.
No, I think for me, it's about, am I going to be able to treat this person, or is this person have presenting issues that are not in my area of training, or there's definitely that's not easy, but that's pretty straightforward. Yeah. But I think other than that, I mean, we're very trained to, if we are feeling like we don't want to work with someone, or I don't know if we feel like we might not like them or whatever. I mean, not that you have to like, but you know what I mean? Then we're trained to also look at ourselves and what's going on. That's a big part of our work is there's transference. There's all kinds of things that can happen. And so sometimes we have to do a little meeting with ourselves as to what's going on with this client. And if you can figure that out, which we often do, and then we work through it and we can work successfully with them. And there are times when we cannot. There are certain types of clients for most therapists that they cannot work with for various reasons. And then at that point, we have that conversation of referring to somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah. You're just like, you need Ralph.
Right.
It hasn't. Well, yeah, it has happened.
I've referred. I've discussed, and I don't know if it's like.
And then they look me up on LinkedIn. They're like, "Ooh."
No, I think that
this guy has a podcast. Wow.
Ooh, he has a podcast? No, thank you. Slap it away.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just send my question to his podcast.
Why pay anybody for it?
Free therapy.
Send it to the email address.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I realized it's 8:01, and there might have been people who tuned in since we started. So I just want to pop in and say hello. You're watching My Dinner with Ryaneil. I'm Neil.
I'm Ryan, and these are our guests.
Kristen and Ralph. Hey, Let Me Ask You Something podcast, and we are hosted as always by the wonderful people at Frigid New York. So, 8:00. Thought I would check in.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frigid New York.
Yeah. Good people who largely haven't met us in person, but they tolerate our digital presence. Yeah.
We don't really, they needed content.
Oh, there's our podcast link.
We have podcast link. Yeah.
We're on Apple and we are on Spotify as well. So we hit the two big ones. And also they feed into all the others. So, but those are the two big ones we're on. So yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of media, what are you two consuming these days that you're into?
Your various pop culture ephemera.
Your books, your movies.
Why don't you go
Oh
first?
gosh,
If anything.
I haven't been able to read a book. I haven't read a book in over a year. So that's a bad topic.
Wow.
We've hit a nerve.
Yeah, no, I can't seem to sit still with a book for some reason. Movies? Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
TV show?
I watch a lot of television, but I don't watch a lot of movies.
What are you watching?
TV's fine.
You're watching television.
Television, I like anything. Like I like a lot of the crime shows. There's a serial killer involved in the show.
Mhm.
I'm all about it. The Prodigal
All about the
Son.
murder.
I'm all about all that.
Do you like true crime or like fake?
General.
I'm a huge Criminal Minds fan. I could watch. I watch it on repeat. My favorite movies from the past are all the Silence of the Lambs. I'm obsessed with that. Like
All
I
of
find
them?
it. I mean, like Silence, Hannibal.
The good ones.
Like all, yeah. There's various. You know what I'm talking about.
You ever seen Manhunter? It's before.
Yes,
before
I saw.
Great.
Yes. Yeah, so I like all that stuff, and then the reality, the ridiculous reality television. I'll do a little bit of that.
Yeah. Oh, The Circle. Have you seen The Circle?
I couldn't get into it.
Oh, man.
I could not.
So
I'm
good.
too old for that. It was weird. I couldn't. It
Oh,
was too social media driven. I couldn't.
it's the best.
Do you
I
want to
love
watch shows with sociopaths.
I'd rather watch a show with a sociopath than watch that show.
It's
100%.
It's the same thing.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
The Circle is full of sociopaths.
It's just who's supporting the sociopaths. Yeah.
I don't like it. I tried. I did. I was like, no.
I just like talking in texts, like heart emoji, smiling, crying emoji, sent.
I'm sorry. I grew up in the 80s.
Oh.
I don't understand that. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
And every time I watch the show, I just think there's some poor production assistant sitting in a closet typing everything these people
Everything
are saying.
out.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do voice recognition.
No.
No.
It's
Some poor underpaid person.
bizarre.
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of tennis. I'm a big
Oh, yeah.
She's a tennis player.
Yeah, so I was really
Oh.
into Wimbledon. I was all attached to the finals. all
She's a
year.
very good tennis player too.
You don't have no evidence to back that up.
I-
You've never for 1 minute seen me play tennis.
I can only go by what you say, and you say you're pretty good. So
I mean, I'm intermediate. I play a lot. I'm
it's better than me.
competitive, but
I would run
let's
away
not
from
get
the ball.
carried away.
If it came
You'd be
at
off
me.
the court.
I would be off the court in my car. Like, no, it's coming too fast.
You ran to that car awfully quickly. You could put your
Yeah.
skills to playing tennis, you know?
I ran track in high school for a hot second.
That's how fast you were running. A hot second.
Exactly. And then I was like, nope.
He ran off.
I ran off. I just ran into the woods.
Quite enough of that.
Yep.
Lived as a hermit for a little while.
Yeah. And that was your new year.
That was my new year. I've been watching a lot of TV too. Watching Lisey's Story on Apple TV Plus. It's a Stephen King story. It's really good.
Ooh.
Julianne Moore and
I
Clive
don't have
Owen.
that channel, but that sounds great.
Really good. We what else are we watching? Oh God, anything Marvel. So Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We are a Marvel household.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you
Any
going
of
to see
those-
Black Widow in the theaters?
I want to see it in the theater, but here's the thing: it's I can't go on any social media because everybody's spoiling crap all the time. So I think we may just break down and watch it at home. But I really want to see it. Like I want to return to seeing the big Marvel movies in the theater.
Sure.
Right.
But I don't know if this one is the one yet.
I'll say that. So I saw Black Widow on Friday night,
Oh,
and I've been deeply on social media ever since, as is my custom. And I wouldn't feel like much of anything has been spoiled from it.
okay.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen any spoilers. I've seen a lot of takes on it, and everyone's like,
Yeah, there's a lot of memes that make no sense to me.
right.
But I don't want
right.
I don't want anything to stick in my head, so I'm watching the movie and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what that meme on Twitter meant.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, I look forward to your review, Ralph, and hearing about your viewing experience more generally.
I will email it to you after we see it.
Don't look at the comments. Noah's trying to spoil something.
Noah,
I don't have the comments up, so it's just
Okay.
we're focused on you all.
Idea,
yes.
all right, okay.
Amanda, do not promote that one. We will not look at that.
Too bad, Noah. I can't even
dear.
read what you're
Oh
saying.
dear.
He's gonna direct message you like right after this. It's just like
Too bad.
it's not that terrible of a spoiler, but it's enough
It's enough.
based on your criteria.
Now we have intentional spoilers.
I can't even see it. So
It's, now it's all so vague.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
enough of Noah.
You're not
Now
the
we're
guest,
alienating
Noah.
our fans.
You've been the guest, Noah.
Pre-mandatory, just not like
No, let's
spoilers.
see it.
Oh gosh. Anything interesting happening to either of you recently? Just a fun little anecdote of life.
Interesting.
Wacky.
That's not
something.
my sneaker story, which is not interesting. So.
You can tell your sneaker
it's
story.
not.
I love
You
that,
gotta
whatever
have
it
these kind of
is.
stories.
I know that Ryan's gonna love it.
We were talking about sneakers because Dan, my partner Dan, just got new Chucks and he designed them on the
Oh.
Chuck website, so they're like all custom and fun. And I just got a new pair of Vans, and so
He ran over to get his.
I ran over to show her like
It
a
was we were
5-year-old,
at
like
the
look at
shoe
what I
store.
got.
These shoes make me so fast.
Right. I didn't. Right, exactly.
In case I'm
What
ever
were they
near a
called?
tennis court.
Zip. I just aged myself. No, I bought these sneakers and I didn't realize I was buying the most trendy sneakers going on right now, Air Force Ones. And they're like white sneakers and they're really cute. They are cuter. Obviously, I like them. I wouldn't have bought them.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, these are fun. I really like these sneakers. I might get another pair. But then I'm out shopping with my 10-year-old niece over the weekend, and I look down, and I'm like, I should probably check my age because my 10-year-old niece is wearing the same sneakers as I'm wearing. And she's like, oh my gosh, we have the same sneakers. And then we're in the mall, and she's like, and they have on the sneakers, and they have on the sneakers. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I was so cool and trendy. And then I was out with a girlfriend, and everyone where we were at was like, I really like your sneakers. And I was like, what is happening? I had no idea that I was in the cool club.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
So my
it was just
question
really
is,
funny. I was like not used to that.
can you save money by buying the kid sneaker
Yes,
version?
I actually. This is the best part. Of everything, is that my feet are so small that I can fit in a 5 youth, which I should have discovered a long time ago. But I've now discovered when I bought some tennis shoes that I fit in the 5 youth, and I was like, sweet, because it's usually $10, even more dollars cheaper to buy the kid's shoe, and nobody knows. Now you all know, because
Now we know your secret.
everyone knows my secret. I have kids' shoes on, and I'm comfortable with it.
I wish I could wear kids' shoes. That would be amazing. I would save so much money.
So can you get Heelys?
We can all get Heelys, I think.
Heelys, the shoes with wheels.
There's like a wheel in the Heelys.
I have been
can
wanting
see
them
that.
secretly since they came out, and I was just like 15, 20, 30 years too late, because
Yeah.
I was like, those are so cool.
They've been out a very long time. Like I
know,
remember
but
them.
I was,
I think you can get them now and feel like you've missed the trend entirely and that you're just on your own journey.
But how many adults are wheeling around? I wasn't privy to the adults. I only see children.
Somebody's doing it somewhere, I'm sure.
Sure.
I'm gonna look now.
Just saying.
I'm gonna look.
They just seem dangerous to me. Like it just
Yeah,
seems
I
like
don't
a
have
different
enough
thing.
coordination.
Yeah.
I would hurt myself. And I never understood what, like, one of them's for steering and one of them's for going.
Is it really?
Yeah, right? One of them has the wheel in the...
Hi, Dan.
Here's Dan.
Hi,
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
One of them has the... It's a
Sorry.
dinner party.
We did. Now it's an
Now
odd
it's a dinner
number,
party.
and so it's a dinner
This
party.
man was being real subtle, and then he was just like,
Yeah, he was trying to... I was going to try to cover him with my huge noggin, but it's not that big.
It's fine.
Yeah, one of them has the wheels on the bottom and one
Oh,
has
I
the
think I know
wheels
what
on
you mean
the
now.
heel. Because you always see the people with one of their heels, and
That's
I
right.
think that's... I don't know. I'm a 45-year-old man trying to figure out wheelies.
That's more than I knew.
That's a whole podcast.
At least there's 4 wheels.
Hey, can I ask you something about Heelys?
No, it's just the wheel and the heel, right?
I think they're just Heelys. I think there's only in the heel.
So you have to put your
both.
feet up.
That makes sense. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you walk regular on your toes and then heel and.
I know. I went to a roller skate in my head.
Yeah.
You should
I
go
would
roller
totally
skate.
do roller skates. I want to bring those back.
They had a roller skating rink in Center City for a month and a half, and I was going to go to a retro roller skating rink.
I miss roller skating so bad.
I don't do a rollerblade. That didn't go well. Lasted about 5 minutes, and I almost killed myself.
Yeah.
So roller skates and I would probably do much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, so what about like ice skating? Is that also?
Yeah, no, I don't do ice skating either. No.
What if they had ice skates, but like with the same number of blades as?
I would consider that 100%. Yep, I would entertain it.
I would do that.
Why I'm uncoordinated as it is. Why would I step onto a slippery surface with sharp blades on my feet where I'm going to be flailing around? I'm going to kill somebody. Probably myself.
Maybe that's why, because you're like a secret assassin
Living on the edge.
Wow.
The edge.
Because they're skates.
I think they do make those kinds of skates for like.
They have
kids.
the ones with the two blades that are side by side. Yeah.
So Kristen, maybe you can get them.
Yeah, I could. No, I could. Maybe I could do that. I don't know.
We give it a shot. Why not?
Thank you, Amanda.
Gosh.
Somebody else who hears me.
Let's. This is the part of the evening where we get controversial.
Oh, what? We haven't been controversial already?
No. We're going to ask you, what is your very low stakes, unpopular opinion? Like, what's a hill that you're going to die on? That.
That was amazing.
It's actually, that was a trick. We're actually here. You're going to play a game with us.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yay! I love games.
I love a game.
Some dinner parties have games in them.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes they have dinner crashers. Sometimes they have games.
That's right.
So, we're playing. Hey, let me ask you something about my dumb podcast.
Okay.
The way the game works is that you guys are giving, messages to. You're giving people advice that are coming to you with problems. So Neil and I have come up with 6 dumb podcast ideas, and we need you to coach us into making them better podcasts.
You are coaching us.
Okay.
Either further into or out of these decisions, and you can't say, "What do you think you should do?" Because we know that trick.
No.
Oh man. All right. So we actually have to give advice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go.
I'm rusty, but I think
Put a different hat on.
Yeah.
I'm used to.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Podcast coaches.
All right, the first one we're calling Mimecraft,
Oh yeah.
in which we have in-depth interviews with in-character mimes.
I see nothing wrong with that.
What?
So we're having a podcast. We're talking to mimes who are in character. We're having interviews with them.
Yeah.
This is probably a dumb idea. How do we fix this?
I see nothing wrong with it because I think that's a brilliant idea.
I actually don't either. I was kind of thinking, wait,
All right, so Mimecraft, they wouldn't be speaking, which would defeat the purpose of the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
How do we host that well?
Yeah.
No, you don't. That's the advice. You can't.
Oh.
No, just kind of like very, wabi-sabi.
Are you
Just
gonna
let
use
it.
subtitles? Like if they
This
don't.
is nihilism.
well, you could have somebody translating maybe or speaking for the mime.
That might be fun. You could try that.
An audio describer.
Right,
Yes.
like a narrator. Oh, you could get that guy
Oh.
who does the National Geographic things. The English
Attenborough.
guy. Attenborough, yeah.
Attenborough.
Ooh,
There it is.
That could go really well.
I would
actually.
listen to that.
Okay.
And then you could go funny or not funny
Right.
with whoever is translating.
Well, if it's a mime, it's not funny.
Whoa.
I don't know mimes as well.
Controversial indeed.
That is a that is a
That's
spicy.
that's a hill I will die on. Mimes,
All right,
no.
mimes are not my area of expertise. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good. I think you've helped us. I think
That's a great little punch up there.
We're
That's
here
a go
for it.
podcast right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, number 2.
Okay.
That's what she said. An investigation. We take a deep dive to determine if that is in fact what she said, and why she would say it.
Again, I don't see anything wrong with this. I think
No,
this is great.
me
I'm
neither.
adding all these to my
How do you
queue.
plan to go about doing that?
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, this is how it is. You're gonna throw.
No, I mean, like, what's your? I'm sorry. I know. I mean, but like, I need a little more. I need a little bit more to help in order to answer your question, which we'll do.
Right. Yeah.
So we start with there's a fair amount of I guess legally you would call it like circumstantial evidence, right? Of people saying, well, that's what she said. And so we'd have to kind of collect all the things that allegedly she said. And then try to track down, did she say that? And if so, why?
If you did it in the vein of a true crime podcast.
Yeah, it's serial, but for what she said.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. In-depth interviews with people who know her and can give you character reference if she would say that. And if not, I mean, by the end of the podcast episode or the season, I guess, because it's serial, by the end of the season, I would like to either know definitively if she did or didn't say it. And if not, I want whoever said she said it to be held accountable.
For some reason, I went comedic. And I kept thinking of like, okay, maybe interspersing some comedians' take on what she said or didn't say.
Oh.
Interspersed.
Oh.
Or exclusively with the real people, and then at the end trying to kind of
right.
I don't know. I went a comedy route in my head about it, of just bringing in people that could make it funny, and could kind of pull it apart in a way that was a little bit more comical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
And I want to commend you both for saying absolutely nothing that would have applied to a "that's what she said" line.
Yeah, that's right.
I was looking for it. I was looking for it the whole time.
Yeah.
This whole thing was
It's a family show, I thought, right?
We don't
Yeah, my mom watches.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 3 is, why are you still here? Our business is complete. In this, we host top improvisers from around the world to participate only in transaction scenes.
Oh, okay.
This is out of my.
Yeah, Ralph, you may need to be a conduit.
I'm going to translate for everybody. So in improv, you want to stay away from transaction scenes because they're very boring and they're very finite. So like, hi, welcome to my store, and you would say like, I'm here to buy this shirt. Okay, great, you've bought the shirt. Okay, bye, and then that's it.
Okay.
So there's not a lot there. Or like teaching people to do something in a scene is like very transactional. It's like, it's boring to watch. So we try versus like having a conversation and playing characters and like that kind of stuff is fun. Yeah. But no transactional scenes. Yeah, we already forgot what why are you still here? Our transaction is complete.
Our business is complete.
Our business is complete.
Yeah. Can we just start? Is the title too much? Not enough?
I think it's a little long. I think you should just stop. Why are you still here? Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thought about it, but I was like, does it convey the transactionalness?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just mean enough that Mean Girls would.
It's attractive too.
Right.
It's very provocative a little bit. Like, why are you still here?
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you think we could pull this off? I mean, if we just get some of the top improvisers in the world.
They're probably not busy, is my guess.
Yeah.
Zing. No, they're not. They're not. Yeah. I think. Well, how long do you think the episodes are going to be?
2-3 minutes tops. I mean, somebody's going to edit this really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good bus ride podcast, honestly.
Right. All of that. All right. Noah has opinions about podcast titles, apparently. I guess we'll have to have him on for a whole show about podcast titles.
Podcasts for me too, Noah?
Yeah.
All right. Idea number 4 we had is let it all out. We attempt to get into in-depth interviews, but everyone is sobbing uncontrollably for the entirety of the podcast, and no one is saying anything intelligible.
That's a mess.
And this is
Podcast cancel.
Podcast cancel. Is it supposed to be capital O, capital U, little t? Because that has
that's canon. Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay, because that opens up some doors too. Oots. Oh yeah, it spell it like that, but it takes place in Canada.
No, Amanda, it's canon.
Yeah, Amanda, it was always like that. Don't throw yourself under this capital U bus.
I think it would be cathartic. You know what? For this one, here's my idea. Please please push back.
I will if I need to.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
No, he said push back regardless.
Regardless, I think you should do it. Have a half hour of people sobbing uncontrollably, but then market it as an ASMR thing where people can fall asleep to it.
Mm.
Who falls asleep to people crying?
Me.
What? I don't know. This is a weird.
Just like Ralph's just headphones is going to sleep. There's just people like, oh my God.
It's like it's broad enough that it's basically white noise. Yeah. I can see
Would
it.
you get like how would like but like does the quality of guest matter to you? Like if we get like
the world's top improvisers sobbing uncontrollably.
Or is it like
this one with the one before? Have them do the 2-minute scene and then cry for the 26 minutes.
You could have a crier that took over. It got so loud they kind of muffled all the other criers.
Oh,
that's true.
A show off crier, if you will.
Yeah.
Do people need to take turns crying?
Oh.
Like an orchestra, they could all kind of do a little part.
Right.
You gotta get the cries down pat, and then figure out who goes in. Well, that would be kind of funny.
This is something a serial killer would come up with.
Just because I like serial killer shows does not mean, I'm just in a different life. I was a forensic psychologist.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But would you be more likely to listen to this podcast if it was like, oh, we got Susan Sarandon?
Talented criers.
Yeah.
John Fryer.
You can have celebrities crying.
Yeah,
they're not going to do that.
Pulls you out of the moment.
Oh, you think it should be more like people of New York? It's just everyday people crying.
What's the point of the crying? Like just cathartic?
You tell us.
So
What is the point
emotional.
of crying?
Is this a fetish? I don't understand. Like, who wants to listen to crying all the time?
Ralph. We've established that Ralph falls
We
asleep
need to
to it.
talk about this. We have to talk about this after the dinner party.
We're gonna have
there's something I had to counsel him about.
We're gonna
Hey
have
Ralph, let me ask you something. Why do you listen to people cry?
It's the only thing that puts me to sleep.
Just get
And then you wake up to people laughing. Is that how it works? Your alarm clock is just people laughing.
Oh.
Yeah, at 7 a.m. in my bedroom, it's just peals of laughter.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
Ralph's recording this right now.
Raising me up.
All right, Ryan, you want to?
Sure. So
we're telling you don't love me anymore.
Now it's a dinner party.
Now it's a dinner party. Okay, so number 5, we have macroeconomics with micro people.
Wait,
Oh.
there's
And
too many big words in that for me.
We gather the smartest preschoolers on the planet and have them debate top economic issues of the day, including inflation worries, the labor shortage, and the different, the merits of Friedmanomics versus Keynesianics.
I don't know what any of that means, but I think the whole thing with the kids is cute, and I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
100%
But can we
like
get them to actually discuss macroeconomics?
The needs, yeah.
I would listen to it if each episode had a guest who was an actual economics professor or
Good idea.
somebody, and each interview took place in a ball pit at McDonald's.
Oh.
Ooh.
Does it have to be at McDonald's?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that represent the stock market? I don't know what the stock market is, to be clear. I know what a ball pit is.
It's a ball.
I'm more familiar with a ball pit.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because it would humanize it for people who want an intro into economics, but and it would also like represent the economies around the world. But it's also just fun to have somebody older who really has never been in a ball pit play in a ball pit with little
I love that idea,
mini
actually.
mini economics.
But would the economicists, would the preschoolers be too distracted by the ball pit to really discuss, the issues?
Hey, if you can't be professional around the ball pit, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have a podcast.
I think it's a hosting duty to corral people in the ball pit.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So, okay. All right. We have one left. This one's called When Stars Align with You. And in this one, Neil and I are going to persuade people to track down and ask out their favorite celebrities.
I love this. Oh, this is so up my alley. Oh my gosh. 100%.
All right, you feel
this is my
one.
lane.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so people are going to hunt down.
Well, I don't know if hunt's a good word.
Yeah, no hunt. A little aggressive.
We
It
said
might be what they're
track, which
doing
could
now.
mean anything, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would do you have ideas on how to do that or no? That's what you're looking for.
No, we're just persuading you to do it.
Yeah, that's on them. And it's going to depend on their celebrity, right? Like Jennifer Lopez is on LinkedIn.
Is
Right.
she really?
Yeah, we're 3 degrees.
Really?
Everybody's 3 degrees from Jennifer Lopez, it turns out.
I'm very
That's an easier game to play than the Kevin Bacon.
So is
one.
the idea to be like go on a date with them, or are you just trying to like?
I think you got to try to marry them.
What?
I think you're ultimately you want to marry them.
Ryan.
Not like,
Wow.
like after a year or two.
Breaking news.
The ultimate goal should be like, why date someone if you know, like why would you? Why?
You listen to this, Dan?
It sounds like the celebrity dating game is what's coming in my brain. That just was.
Well,
just started
also,
on TV.
it doesn't feel like there's any follow through. Like, okay, great, this person now wants to go find Jennifer Lopez and date her, but I want
I
to.
think it's like saying hi.
Well, no, it's more than that, right?
So you're saying we need to know whether or not they actually went
Yeah, you want to. I think the audience would want that closure of what happened,
Did
So
they
we-
actually go out on a date?
right?
and then follow them on the date.
Record
Yeah,
the
but they're
date.
not going to make that decision on the spot. That's not. That's too much.
Hmm.
I
Well,
love it. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to put it all
That's why
together.
we came to you. We knew that
Yeah.
you would have better ideas than we did.
What
well, also,
celebrities?
would it be them, like the process of them like talking to, like texting the celebrity,
Oh,
like
yeah.
to win them over?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have to get the number. Like we're not going to do any of that.
Right. They're
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
they're
they have to get the number before to even do it. That's impossible.
No, they could do. Maybe we'll have
They
them
can do
back. We can have them back.
Because really, this, honestly, in real life, this would be not aligning with the stars, but aligning with their manager / publicist,
Exactly.
because that's who you're going to have to go through.
it's fine too.
You may end up just dating their manager.
I mean, back in the day, you would just
Fine.
join the fan club and write a letter.
It's
back
true.
in, back in
very
the
true.
good old days, you just wrote a letter to the fan club, and,
Send a lock
and
of
then
hair.
somebody wrote it back, and
No.
you thought that you were connected to that celebrity.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Follow-up question: what celebrity would you date? Would you track down and date?
Dan knows what I'm going
I
to say.
already know what I.
Well, what are you gonna
say?
say? I'll
I
say
have
mine
a
if you
couple,
say yours.
but I have to say one.
Yeah.
Shamar Moore.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's a good one.
I could name 5 more, but we'll just go with Shamar Moore right now.
My always crush is Christopher Maloney.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Law and Order, SVU,
No, we have to
Happy,
we have to Google him when I'm done. I don't know him.
Wet Hot American Summer,
Just
Yeah.
Google his butt.
Google his
Alright, I'll do
Google
this.
his midriff.
Oz. He was in Oz, yeah.
I never saw any of these things.
Oh man.
All right, all right. Post dinner party. Google
So we got
search.
some watching to do.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
that was
you
fun.
won. That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
That
won.
was great, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
You won.
So now we would just like to raise a glass. Have a night.
Oh yeah. It's time to wind things down. It is a school night after all.
It is.
Yes.
Here, let me.
It's Sunday's technically school.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Ooh.
Perfect. We're doing cheers.
We're doing cheers.
We're doing cheers.
Thank you.
Here's to better living.
Cheers.
And my
Thank-
first official dinner party.
And your first
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Kristen.
Here's to your first official and best by default dinner party.
Of course, yes.
That's right. That's right. Well,
Kristen and Ralph, thank you so much for coming to our dinner party.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
it's nice to see you.
Ralph, we hope this is also the best dinner party you've ever been to.
Men's and men's.
Top 2, maybe? Top 2 for you?
Top 5.
No, I opened myself up for that one.
That could have been.
Yep.
It could be 3, 4, or 5.
Right. Right. No, top 3. Top 3.
Top three.
You'll at least get a bronze.
Definitely 3.
Okay. Okay, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Just because there's not 7 people. That's what. Remember, that's when.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Dan only counted as 1. So
Yeah. So that gets us up to.
Anyways.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, we'll see you two backstage after the show, as it were, and we'll close things out. But thanks again, and we'll drop links to your podcasts, etc., and websites on our show page. Yeah, cool.
Please. Oh, and if anybody, I know we both do this, but if anybody wants to like ask us about anything or email us, we both do like a free virtual coffee. So you don't like the first one's free, so you don't have to pay for. If you just want to talk to us, figure out if we work together well. So keep that in mind too.
Yes.
And then they get you hooked.
And then first one's free, the rest you got to pay for.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So cool.
All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
shortly.
We did it again, Neil. I don't know how we did it. We did it again.
Through the generosity of Frigid New York and the glory of Amanda Nicastro, we did it. And the generosity of our guests who provided their time.
Yes.
And energy.
No, I'm sure. I apologize for any untoward comments we might have made towards you during the broadcast. But thank you so much for showing up and providing us talking points. I do just want to point out that my wife and I have broken like all of the wine glasses in our house except for my Elvis wine glasses.
I was curious about what was going on there.
Yeah, it's young Elvis. I also have old Elvis. So.
All right. A couple of 29-cent wine glasses there.
And I'm drinking port because I love port.
You're a strange bird.
Have you heard it? So good.
I love port, but anyways, folks, you could like us on Facebook if you haven't already done that, where we are My Dinner with Our PTB. There it is. Yeah, we'll be back in a couple weeks or something. We don't know. Life is fascinating. Yeah. And thanks to Storyblocks and museopen.org. Maybe I don't know what they've done, but I thank them for their service.
I think they did the video thing that Amanda did.
Oh, thanks to them. Yes, thank you. You're right. I didn't read all my messages today.
Right.
So, anyways, cool.
Thanks again, everybody.
For our dinner party.
Bye, Neil.
Good night, everybody.